Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. On today's Weekend Whip video, I'm going to be working on something in Daydreams. I still haven't decided for sure. There's one that I have kind of flagged that I want to work on a little bit, but I have a bunch of whips in here, so we're going to see just what I feel like today. I'm going to take a sip of my tea and we'll get started. Got some chocolate mint tea today. I ran out of my cinnamon tea and I was just like, I was very upset. So this is the page that I thought about working on. I have done a little bit of work on it not too long ago where I went through and did all the metallic watercolor on there. The rest of this I think is all done with Neo colors. So I'm trying to decide if I want to work on this, but then I have a ton of whips. So like both of those are whips. I've got some more back here somewhere. Where'd the other ones go? That one's a whip. Still have to get that crown done. So yeah, there's a bunch of things I can work on in this book, and I just go through and look at things, and I'm just like, I just get stuck. Oh yeah, both of those are whips. But I think it's gonna be these guys today. I think. So let me figure out which pencils. I think we'll work with, what am I trying to say? Prismacolors. That's not that hard to say. It's a pencil I really like and I use often, and I don't know why it was so hard for me to say that. Okay, so yeah, we're going to work on Prismas with Prismas. I got to figure out what I'm going to do. I think these are going to be all darker blue. And then this over here is going to be a mix of gold and blue. So actually, let me grab my Neo colors for a second, because I do need to add a little bit. I'm just going to go ahead and add the base color to those sections. I believe I used this. We're going to start with this one, because maybe it's the ultramarine. I can't remember. So I was trying to figure out what to do with all of this here. This is just, there's so much stuff and I just didn't know how to color it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do all of the bits gold, except for like the insides of this part and the feathery bits here and like these little gems. Those are all going to be blue or green. But yeah, I've had this book. This was one of my very first coloring books. I think my oldest page in here is from 2015. I might have written the date on it. I don't date them anymore, which I feel like maybe I should. Oh no, 2017. Yeah, so I've had this book for, oh my gosh, going on 7 years. That's crazy. Oh, it would be 7 years because I think that said June. Oh no, that said February. So yeah, over 7 years I've had this book. And that's really as long as I've been doing the adult coloring too. That's kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, so I'm just going to go ahead and get this activated in here. So hi, everybody. I hope you are having a wonderful weekend. I am coming to you from Friday morning. I have had a little bit of my tea already, so I might be a little caffeinated. So I apologize if I'm skipping around or seem a little I don't know, a little out of it. I think I'm gonna have to add more color straight from the. I should have just done it this way. But yeah, I've been focusing so far this month on pages in my hardback books, and I have gotten a couple done in, I got a couple done in Magical Dawn. I got one done in Nightfall by Maria Trolle. I've gotten one done in Botanicum. And then, you know, if I get some done in Daydreams here, that'll just be awesome. I have neglected my hardback books a little bit. Botanicum's probably the only one that I've really paid much attention to, but that's because it's on my books to finish list. But yeah. Oh, and I've got one almost done, pretty much all the way done in Nightfall by Maria Trolley too. Oh, and I finished one in Summer Nights. Look at me. I got so many done. I keep forgetting. The Summer Nights one had been a whip, so it's not like I invented the wheel there, but okay. I'm just going to ignore the circles on this and just go ahead and color these all in, and maybe add in a little bit darker Neo color at the base of them. I think that's what I might do. I need to switch my backer pages around. I am going to color the inside of these with this blue, and then I'm going to go over top of it with the Prussian blue, which is that darker blue that comes in the set. And just see what that does. Yeah, I've had a lovely week. It's just been really nice. I've been able to color a lot. I've been focusing on getting those things done. I got 2 videos out this week. So I have my mid-year check-in for all of my books to finish. So you can see kind of my progress so far this year. And I did also finally post the Amazon paper using water mediums. So I kind of show you how I go about doing that, which is awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to finally have that out there. I felt really bad that it took so long, but it's there now, and yeah, it's all good. Yeah, and then I've been just kind of listening to books and coloring, and Wednesday I got to go to the Symphony, and it was supposed to be me and my husband, but he got called for jury duty on a murder trial, which is just crazy. This is the 3rd murder trial he's had to sit for on a jury. That's just insane. But yeah, so he was there for 3 days, and the last day was on Wednesday, and they said, yeah, prepare for it to be a late night because they were trying to wrap up the trial that day. And so yeah, he wasn't able to go with me, so I got to go with my best buddy, who we haven't seen each other in a couple of months, unfortunately. So we just had so much fun, and it was the coolest symphony concert I think I've ever been to. It was a mashup, almost. It was it was called Beethoven to Beyonce, basically. And it was basically this guy who does these kind of mashups regularly, I guess. And he took, most of it was going back and forth between Beyonce songs and Beethoven songs. But there were a couple of times where he took Beyonce's lyrics and applied it to some of Beethoven's music. And that was it was so freaking cool. And having all of the symphony instruments there for the Beyonce songs was amazing. And there were some wonderfully talented vocalists and a couple of band members. So there was a drummer and a guitarist and a bass player and a keyboardist, and just the music that they made, man. I love the symphony. I love going and listening to classical music. I so tickled when they take popular music or any kind of music that's not just symphonic, and and add in all of the symphony instruments. It's just one of my favorite things. One of my favorite albums of all time is the Metallica S&M, which stands for Symphony and Metallica. And that's one of my favorite albums of all time. And it just is, it blows me away how they seamlessly blend symphonic instruments into that hard rock music. It's just so cool. But yeah, it was just amazing. I had a blast. So yeah, that was really fun. And then, trying to think what else I did. Oh, my youngest kiddo, she got to go hang out with a friend all day Wednesday. They went to the art museum, and she came back and she was just she was just talking about, they saw this Chinese art from she's just going on and on and on. I don't know that I heard half of what she was saying because she was so excited about what she had seen. And I was like, I love the fact that she's that excited about art. I mean, she likes art anyway. Like she's an artist kind of kid, but the fact that she was, I don't know. So I'm planning to take her back to the art museum later this year so that she can really just take her time, because they didn't have a ton of time there because they also had gone out to lunch and they went around the gardens around the art museum here in town. And yeah, she had a blast. So yeah, that's definitely a trip that we're going to take later this year. Okay. Do I want to work on the body or the tail? I don't know. I still don't know what I'm going to do on the inside of these little circles. And I think for the tail, I want little feathers to come off the ends. I think. All right. I mean, I could just keep adding neocolors and water, but I really do want to get some finer detail work in with my pencils. So I think I'm going to try to work with my polychromos first. I was going to immediately go to my Prismacolors, but I think if I want like a fine line kind of result here, I need to go with pencils that are a little harder. Although I don't know that I have the right green in my polychromos. That's the only problem. Maybe this dark phthalo green would work. All right, and it's nice and sharp already, so I don't really need to do too much to that. I'm gonna take a sip here. Okay, here we go. We're gonna just attempt to add some bits of the feather like out, almost like hair strokes, but it's just like I'm continuing the line from what Hannah's drawn in here. And there's not much I can do when things overlap each other like that, other than just kind of trying to add it in. And it doesn't have to be super detailed, like it's just, but having that more fine tip really does help when you want to get like hair strokes or feathers or things like that. Okay, so I think that's what that's gonna look like. Yes, I like that. Let me grab my, I need this again. Okay, then I'm gonna do, let me grab this leaf green or the emerald green. I'm gonna grab both of those. I don't know if I want this one. We're gonna start with the emerald. Yeah, I gotta think if this is something that I can, you know, recreate the whole for every single tail feather, because they're all gonna be the same. I don't love that. Something about the way that these are working, like coloring in, I don't love. So I'll probably not use them on the inside parts. So let's get my Prismacolors out and see how that goes. So I've got my Prismas here, and I'm going to see if I like that much better already. Just the way it feels on the paper just feels better. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm going over something that's already been a little bit colored. Like if that's what's causing the difference. But I like the vibrancy. I don't know if you can even see. Can you see the difference between those two? I might just be crazy, but I feel like you can see the difference. Like this one just seems a little bit more vibrant. So I'm actually going to add some of this color right on top of this. So this is your, I don't know, just a reminder that you can add in whatever pencils you work. If you find out that something's not working for you, absolutely switch to a different one. I might also grab some, like a navy blue or a turquoise blue. Ooh, maybe this deep cobalt green. I'm going to try that one too for the little feather bits, just to add a little bit more. Oops, that one's really sharp. Just to add in a little bit of contrast. And again, I don't know that it's necessarily going to work where things are overlapping, but definitely will show up pretty well on that purple background. Okay, I like that. All right, so these guys are definitely, the polychromos are good for the flicking bits, and my Prismacolors are going to be good for the shading and blending and stuff. I am going to need a little bit darker, something a little darker. Let's try to mix some colors here. So I'm going to try this indigo blue and see what that does. I love this little eraser, by the way, or eraser, sharpener. It's just a Statler. It's a little Statler Norris sharpener. They're awesome for just having on hand, and they work really well with my Prismas. Until they're not, once they get not quite as sharp, they don't work as well anymore, but when they're newer, it's just awesome. They work so well. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to add in a little navy blue here. And we'll blend that out a little. I just want a little bit of shadow around the edge of the center part. Yeah. Okay, and we'll bring some of this color in. I did have a little bit of shading on there from the Neo colors already, but I do like adding a little bit more in with my Prismacolors. Okay, so then I think the center sections, so I'm going to do a little bit of turquoise on this little ring here, and then this whole center section is going to be blue, and then this little bit right here, just this little triangle shape, I think that is also going to be green. I think that's my plan. I'm just going to do that actually right now. So we're going to add in this green here and then blend it out with the spring. So I'm using parrot and spring green. This is going to kind of match. Cool. All right, I like that. Yeah, so let me grab some turquoise colors. All right. I'm just going to do a light layer of the light aqua all the way around. And then use the, I don't even know what this is. What is this one called? Aquamarine? Yes, aquamarine. Add a little bit of that at the bottom. And then I'm just kind of outlining the rest of that. Yeah, so you don't need me to tell you all about this. So this is just my planning. So I'm trying to talk it out in my head. This is what I do basically when I'm by myself. Although I don't usually say it as much out loud. But a lot of this, I mean, this process is what's going on in my head every time I color a page. All right, I am going to use some of these blues for this middle section here. I think I'm just going to I'm going to cover up all the little circles, I think. So I need, oh, this is so tiny. Look at this little boy. He's so little. So this is the Indanthrone blue. I've got a couple guys here. I'm going to use the light, nope, that's not light cerulean. Use the light cerulean to shade. And then we're going to switch from the ultramarine to the cobalt. Yeah. All right, here we go. We're going to see how this goes. So I'm going to do like around the outside edge and the bottom darker, and then I'll do lighter as we go in, as we move in. Almost to create like a jewel effect, sort of. I don't know if it's going to be quite what I'm envisioning, but this is my game plan. I don't feel like doing all those little circles, so I'm just not going to do them. Just not going to do it. And then I can use this light cerulean actually to blend everything together, go over all of those colors together. And come back in and add in more shadow if I want. Okay. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to use the lighter blue. No, turquoise? Let's try that. I'll try some turquoise on these guys. No, I lied. I want it to be blue. Do a mixture of the, I don't know what that one was. What is this one? Cobalt, the light aqua, and a little bit of gray-green light to blend it together. Nope. I want it to be darker blue. To get a little bit on the outside on this gold too, and I don't want it there. All right, I think that's a pretty tail feather. That'll look nice. And then I can come in with a Posca maybe and do like a little bit of a shine thing. Yeah, that looks good. All right, so there's my tail feathers figured out. Yeah. Let's work on his head a little bit. I think their beaks are black. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to look that up. It doesn't have to be exact, but I know, in my head, I know that. However, I tend to do stuff like that. I'm just like, oh, it needs to be that right color. So for these guys, I'm just gonna add a little bit of shadow to the thing. All right, so let's see what else is going on. I am planning to, I did put a poll out there about the color along for this month. So I am doing, a page each month, a color along page each month in a different Johanna Basford book each month. And so this month I had a poll up to ask you guys which book I should color in next. And the last I checked, which is I think a good choice, Magical Jungle? Is that what it's called? The jungle one. I think it's Magical Jungle. That one won. So I'm going to be coloring in that one. I do have my page picked out. I do have a color palette in mind. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that'll be cool. All right, I like those guys. I'm also going to add a little bit of Posca to these guys too. All right, that looks nice. All right, I'm going to use this ultramarine, and I would normally just kind of go through and do the entire, like, give detail to each one of these little feathers, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that this time. So I'm just gonna not, and we're just gonna add a little bit of shading in a couple of spots, and then let the rest of the Neo colors kind of be, you know, what they were meant to be. I like the way that the colors go from one into the other. I don't feel like I need a ton of shading and stuff on here. If I remember correctly, the little parts on either side of the bird's eyes are white, and then this part in here was black. So I think that's why I have that colored that way. I can't remember exactly. But like I said, I'll go back and look at pictures here soon. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, the color along. Yeah, so very excited about that. I have all of that set up and ready to go, which is awesome. So yeah, I just have to get started on the recording for that, and then I'll have another color along done in that book, which is fun, so fun. Okay, I think I will add in a little bit once it gets to this part. I think then I probably will start doing a little bit more shading on the parts, on like each individual feathery bit. Nice thing about this too is that since it's a Neo color and the Poscas are pretty opaque, you can go over top of the Neo color and like stretch out your colors and make things kind of, I don't know, blend together better. I can go over top of it and cover up any bits that didn't get enough pigment the first time around. Oops. I'm going to use a little bit of this spring green to extend that color a little bit. Move it up in here. This is fun. I thought I was gonna not like this. I think the tail is what's gonna, I'm just gonna have to sit down and just do it, you know? Like it's gonna have to be like that mindless coloring where you just kind of keep working until you can't think, or do something that is, you know, repetitive enough that I don't really have to think about it. All right, I am liking this peacock so far. What do we think? Like I said, I think it's going to look pretty cool once it's all done. I did take my background inspiration from, I don't even know. I think I saw it on Pinterest that it had like this bright pink background. So I decided to do like purples into pinks. And then I used similar color palette on the peacock and the tail too. I don't know if it's, I don't think it's an exact copy, but it's pretty darn close. And that's okay. Like, you can absolutely take your inspiration from something you see as long as you can give it credit. I do have the pin still, so I will probably, if I can find out who colored it, I'll share that. If not, I'll just share the pin. I did this Neocolor background a long time ago. So I might need to add something else to that once all of this stuff is done. I don't know. We will have to see on that one. All right, and then yeah, I'm probably just going to go through and add shading underneath each little loop-a-dee-doo thing. I don't know what these are. Probably, they're supposed to probably be feathers, right? Let's see. I'm going to grab my black for that. I'll do a combination of the Indanthrone blue and the black and see if that really darkens it up. The black in the Neocolor, for some reason, is a little on the warmer side sometimes, and it doesn't get like super dark black. So you do have to add a little bit of colored pencil over top, or add in a little bit of blue, and it makes it a little bit darker. When I think of like really dark blacks, I for some reason think of it as cool, even though it's like an absence of, you know, any of the cool or warm or whatever. But I just feel like it looks better with a little bit of either blue or purple added into it. So if you ever have a black that just isn't hitting right for some reason, try adding blue or purple into it. I don't know if you can see the difference when I'm coloring this here, but I can see it. Like, it really is darkening up nicely. And just keep going back and forth between the colors. All right, I don't hate that. Let's see if I can get a nice, let me try the cool gray. All right, that looks better. And then if I want it even more blended in, I can use my colorless blender and just, all right, that looks pretty good. No, I don't need to do that. I was gonna say I could come in with like either black glitter or black extreme art paint, glitter paint. No, extreme art, extreme glitter. This stuff, extreme glitter folk art paint. I could put that on there. Then it'll also make it shiny. I don't always love that. I think that's why I like the stickles so much, because they tend to be more glitter and less shiny. And like the extreme art paint is more shiny, less glitter. It also doesn't have as much dimension as the stickles though, so yeah. Okay, I like all that. Down here is going to be all gold. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I could do a little bit of shading with just my pencils though for a second. So I think what's going to happen is I'm going to say my light is coming from up here because that's where the lightest area is. So all of the bits that are under those are all going to be shaded. I have to add in a little bit of darker colors in some of the areas. All right, guys, I think this is gonna work. I think I'm not gonna hate every second of it, and that's always a bonus. There are a couple in this book that I'm just, I wanted to say terrified, but terrified's not the right word. It's like I'm paralyzed when it comes to the pages. I think that looks better already. And I really think that's going to look beautiful when all of them are done. I think it's going to look great. And I love the gold on there. I'll probably do a little bit of gold on this part over here too. Anyway, yeah, so the ones that I'm a little paralyzed about are these ones. I do finally have some inspiration images, which I think we're going to do like a light and a dark, but like white and black, not just like day and night. It's going to be white and black, but I'm confused about how I want to do the background. That's the only thing. Yeah, so I'm still trying to figure that part of it out. But I don't know if I'm going to do like light grays and blues over here and then just like black, dark, whatever on that side. I just thought these ladies looked so cool, and I was like, I'm going to use that for my inspiration. But yeah, this is the one that's like I said, paralyzed me from the beginning. This is one of the reasons why I didn't get through the book, because I was going in order all the way up to this page. Like everything up here is done. And when I got here, I was just like, I don't know what to do. But yeah, I have at least inspiration images now. It's just the background. I really got to think about the background. And then where are the other ones? There are two other ones. So this one, I really want to do this one, but again, I've seen it done so many times, so beautifully, that I just don't want to mess it up. And then this one in the back, this one, which again, I have notes and I've started like sketching in some hair, like to give her some extra hair. But yeah, I love all of these. So yeah, I just need to keep going. Keep going. You can do it, Erica. Just gonna talk myself up. All right, so yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it wasn't a ton of work done, but at least you got to see kind of how this is gonna go. I'll hold it up closer so you can see the whole dude there. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here and listening to me chat and hanging out with me and choosing to spend your time with me. I really, truly appreciate it. So yeah, everybody take care, and until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.